welcome to this week's edition of Wolves Weekly. I'm your host, Mark Colachico, the Director of Media Relations at Western Oregon University. I'm joined today by head men's basketball coach Brady Bergeson. Brady, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me back, Mark.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, let's look back a little bit last week. Two real crucial games for you guys. You started off first with Northwest Nazarene, and then you took on Central Washington. Two big wins for you. Talk a little bit first about the Northwest Nazarene game.
Boy, they were really talented. They were what we thought they were. Athletic, big, strong, versatile, and it was a dogfight. I mean, both games this weekend were absolute dogfights, back and forth all game long. I'll say plain and simple, we did a better job closing the game. It was one of the last couple minutes of the game. We're talking about 1 and 2 possession games. And what we're seeing is that kind of what we thought would happen is that, we already know our team is on a pretty thin margin. And I think that is the case a lot throughout our league this year. I think we'll see more games like that as the year goes on, a lot of 1 and 2 possession games breaking down any which way. And that's what we saw this weekend. Really impressed with our guys again in terms of just their grit and tenacity and their ability to lock in and get key stops and key moments and make key plays, especially with the last 2 or 3 minutes with the game and the bounces.
And then look a little bit at the Central Washington game. That was a huge win for you guys. Really battle at the top with you guys being in first, tied for first at the time, and then Central 1 game back, and you guys were able to pull out a really hard-fought 4-point victory.
Yeah, they were hard to stop. They were really tough for us to stop. I thought we did a good job. They've got some really explosive guards that can just make shots from all over the place, and we were able to slow them down quite a bit in patches. It really helped us stay within striking distance. There was a big stretch there in the second half where I think we dominated the boards, and I thought that kept us close. It didn't give us a big lead. That game was, I think, no more than about 4 or 5 at any given time, one way or the other. And those things allowed us to stay close because we were having a hard time scoring the ball. Their length and quickness gave us some problems as well on that end of the floor. But again, we just persevered. We played our best basketball late in the game, and similar to the Northwest Nazarene game, we hit that 4-minute mark, and our guys kind of switched, and we got into kind of closing time, and that's who we've been. It's a group where maturity is on our side right now because we are so battle tested with a lot of guys that have been through these battles and similar battles for a long time now, and been through it together too. So those experiences that have come in both in the past in both forms of success and failure have paid off lately in those close games.
And then talk a little bit about what you've got coming up this week. You've got St. Martin's here on Saturday. You guys are in the midst of an 8-game winning streak inside the new PE building. First, talk a little bit about the Saints coming in and what you guys are seeing as a coaching staff. And then secondly, what's the difference been between games at home and games on the road this year?
So St. Martin's has historically played us tough every time. They're talented. They've got everybody that you'd need. They got a really nice freshman guard that's come in, and he may be the freshman of the year this year in the conference. He's quick, he shoots it, he makes good decisions. He's a really scary player in the future and right now. They shoot it really well. They got 2 or 3 guys that start and 2 or 3 guys that come off the bench that really cast from deep and can get it going there. And they've got a nice combination of athleticism and versatility and size inside. So I think they're a pretty well-balanced team. They've been one of those teams that's been in those 1 and 2 possession games, for the most part, night in and night out. They've won 1 or 2, and they've lost a few, and they're finding their way on that, as well. But that just tells you, they're right there with us and everybody else, and so we're going to have to play really well and execute really well and play a good ball game to beat them. And all, winning streaks aside, we enter the week looking for a 1-game win streak, and that's the way we approach mentally, and I think that's what you have to do each week and each game is just approach it as that. So your second question was, what's the difference been on the home and on the road?
Right.
You know, it'll be interesting to see the way conference breaks down. There's some hard places to play on the road here, period, and life on the road can be hard. So I don't know if I have the full answer yet on that. I think that some of that remains to be seen. But I think you know, you've got to be extremely mentally tough on the road, even more so than you have to be at home. And you know, people look at it and say, well, you know, whoever wins your conference, you know, may just need to go undefeated at home and split on the road. And I don't know, maybe that's the case. I don't know. What I do know is it's going to be thin margins no matter where we're at. You know, if we're winning 2 and 4 point games at home, you know, we're going to have to play even a little bit better on the road to make the same margin, you know, cover the same margin on the road. So we're just trying to lock down on all of our details, and so no matter where we're playing, we're at our best.
And then talk a little bit individually. Andy Avgi's coming off 2 really good games against NNU and Central Washington en route to winning GNAC Player of the Week. He's a redshirt junior for you. He's been around the program for you know, 4 years now. Yep. What's his leadership been both on the court and off the court for your young group of guys?
Outstanding. His leadership's been outstanding. Here's a guy who never, in 3.5 years of coaching him now, not one day have we ever had to coach him on attitude or effort. Never has come up, not one time, and that's no exaggeration. And we've got a few guys like that. And he, you know, when you have those guys, of course, it makes your job that much more enjoyable. But also when he's one of your more talented players, one of your more harder working players, it makes it that much better. So he's got infinite respect of his teammates and his staff because of who he is, the way he carries himself daily. And literally is that, it's daily. And he comes in with the right attitude. He comes in looking forward to practice, and you know, he takes on adversity the way you'd want an athlete to take on adversity. And so when you have those guys in front of the group, the younger guys have a model in front of them doing things the right way. So it becomes those lessons, you know, you hope that the younger guys are picking up on them and watching. All you can do is show it. Here's what this is. Here's a positive response to this adversity. Here's a positive response to, you know, example of what to do in these situations. Here's a guy who comes every day ready to play and get better and improve. Here's a guy who can take criticism. And he's not perfect, but boy, do you enjoy coaching him. And our younger guys, I think, do see that. And it's had a ripple effect throughout the culture of the program. He and some other guys that are right alongside of him in that area. And that's one of the reasons why our culture just keeps getting better each year, too.
Well, Coach, we wish you good luck this week. Fans, just a reminder, the Wolves will be in action inside the new PE building on Saturday, January 17th, when they take on the Saints from St. Martin's University. It's a 7 p.m. tip-off, so we'll hope to see you there. We'll see you again next week on Wolves Weekly, and as always, go Wolves!